Haiti borders with the Dominican.
Her name is Serena Buffalino. They call her Mrs. B, and her class always begins with a pledge.
Something local, something global. Haiti.
They're words that carry
Yes.
weight here. Helping yourself means helping others, giving back, here and a world away in Haiti.
And nobody's helping them, except for people like us.
It was through her the class learned of Haiti, of the nearly 1 million orphans, many with no school, no support, no Mrs. B in their lives.
They could not wrap their head around that.
Mrs. B's students are among Toronto's most at risk. Their challenges vary from emotional and behavioral difficulties to learning disabilities. Their trauma so severe they can't function in a regular school setting, and we aren't allowed to show most of their classmates.
For most of the kids, most of society has turned them away. And in this classroom, they're accepted. They're accepted no matter what for who they are.
Take Yolanda. She came here last year so burdened and withdrawn, she would often fall silent, sometimes for days on end. It was, she says, Mrs. B's patience, her quiet encouragement, that saved her.
She actually saves people's lives from dangers.
And perhaps that's why these marginalized kids feel such a kinship with the orphans of Haiti, and why they were moved to act.
And so when Yolanda and Jackie and Patrick said, well, Miss B, we need to build them a school.
Build a school, no easy task. They started out raising money. They sold samosas, washed cars, screened movies, you name it. And in just a few months, this little class raised $20,000. So much, it's not just a one-room schoolhouse they can build, but a full 3-story school. And so Mrs. B set off on a journey she'd dreamed of, up into the dusty mountains above Port-au-Prince to a town called Canaan. It's home to thousands of earthquake refugees who live with no running water, no electricity, and no school, until now. The first step was a temporary school. It's up and running, 53 students already in uniform. The permanent school for 250 is growing from its foundations.
It makes me want to cry because she just makes me feel so awed, and I'm very proud of her.
All of this because of a handful of students back in Canada and Mrs. B, the teacher who believed in them.
These are for you.
At another fundraiser, a special tribute to the students, accepted by someone who, without Mrs. B, might not be here.
They believe in me and I believe in them, and together we not only change our lives, but we change the world around us.
For inspiring great things and seeing the potential in everyone, Serena Buffalino is this week's Everyday Hero.
This is the reason why I do what I do, is because of Yolanda and all the
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good Monday morning to everyone. Hello, Barbara. Hello, everyone. Today is Monday. We get to start the whole week all over again. All right. I hope everyone had an incredible last week. I hope everyone had an incredible weekend. I know I did. And I'm looking forward to starting this week on an exciting Monday and make this week even better than last week. And I hopefully that the following week will even be better than this week. So let's get started with an incredible Monday morning. I hope everyone grabs your coffee, take a big sip of coffee. Maybe you're a tea drinker, take that big sip of tea. But remember, don't load up with too much coffee or caffeine. We want to keep balance in our life. We don't want to lose control here. So I am Marty Jalove, and I am here on the Barbara Beckley Show, the Diamond Factor Experience, every Monday at 8 a.m. My friends, I'm talking about all things selling. What I mean by that is no matter if you are pushing a product or a service, whether you are trying to win a speech contest or you are rooting for somebody in American Idol, whatever is happening, you are always selling. And if you're not having fun, you're selling too hard. So let's get right into this. Today, I want to talk a little bit about that balance and control. Sometimes we need complete balance in life, and sometimes we need control. Now, I want you to think a little bit about a shopping cart, going shopping through the store. All right, that's a typical way that we get involved with the buying cycle in the grocery store. We're the purchaser, we're the customer. Now we're pushing that cart up and down the aisles, okay? Now notice how sometimes when we walk in, we choose the cart. You ever do that? You pull a cart out of the rack of carts and you check it out and you go, no, I don't really like this one. Maybe it's wobbly too much. You put it to the side, you pull another one. Maybe there's something in it. Maybe the handles are wet or something like that. So you pull out a cart that you want. In other words, you want to take control of the situation. So as you're walking down the aisle, pushing your cart, sometimes all of a sudden you realize it's got one wobbly wheel, one wheel that's moving around and it's pulling you to one direction or the other, right? You no longer have control. The cart has control. So you push that cart off to the side, you go back and you get a new cart. Finally, you get a cart that you feel you have complete control in. All right. I don't know if you spend this much time before you shop, but I certainly do. I want that perfect cart. I want to feel like I'm in the driver's seat. And as I'm pushing that cart up and down the aisles, don't you sometimes feel like you're empowered? Okay, you've got this giant barrier in front of you that you can push things out of your way. Okay, it keeps some distance from the other people as you walk. And as you grab things and put them in there, you can keep looking at things in the cart. And this is the type of control that we have. And this is the type of control that we always want to have as we're pushing our carts up and down that aisle. Some of the times we think about this when we leave the store, we just push those carts off to the side. We let them go. We cross our fingers and we hope that they don't just take control of themselves, roll down through the parking lot, and hit somebody's car. Okay. But what we want to do is have as much control over that because it's our life. So we want to have as much control over our life as possible. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to be an educated consumer. Okay, so this when I talk about this show being all about selling, I'm talking about not only you selling, but you being sold to. And I want you to think about this. As you're going up and down those aisles and you're looking at stuff, you notice how everything is these amazing, bright colors, flashy pictures, big words, these buzzwords, they're done so wonderfully. All that those products are doing is they're always trying to sell you something. What they're trying to do is take control of the situation and get you to purchase their product over someone else's. Okay, you go down the cereal aisle and there are hundreds of choices of cereal. But each one of them is trying to take control and saying, buy me, buy me. And you need to find a way to balance that. You need a way to say, okay, I'm going to make a smart decision. So what I ask you to do every once in a while, and trust me, you'll enjoy this. Just follow me on this. I want you to go to the store, pick up the one that catches your eye first, and look at it. Just look at it. Take some time and spend some time looking at it. And ask yourself, why is it that this one caught your eye? Then put that one down and say, what's the next one that catches my eye? Grab that one, pick it up and look at it. Say, why did this one catch my eye? Compare the two and say, why did this one catch my eye over this one? Soon, what you're going to do is you're going to take back the control of your purchasing decisions. You're going to take it away from the manufacturer. I know some of you are going to say, no, Marty, I'm not tricked by that. I know exactly what I'm going to buy. But I'm telling you the truth. We are always influenced by the marketing of and advertising of these large companies. Without a doubt, all of us, because they know that key factor that I talked about in previous week's shows, and that is we buy things that we want and we justify them with what we need. Remember that we buy things that we want and we justify them with what we need. So when we see these flashy colors, these great mascots, this imagery, that's the type of things we want, and we justify it with what we need. So what I want you to do is be an educated consumer, and I want you to start really looking at the stuff and asking yourself, why am I choosing this one over that one? And take it a step further, teach your kids this at an early age. And the reason I want you to do this, okay, the real reason I want you to do this is because it's all about this. We are inundated by so much advertising constantly that we have, as adults, have to learn how to deal with it, and our kids have to, because all that's going to happen is more and more and more is coming about in front of us, and it's flashing in front of us. Okay, our kids are lost in front of their cell phones all the time. They don't know where to go with it. Okay, they see ads for everything, and they go, "I want." So it's time for us as adults to teach those kids to be educated consumers, to understand the little tricks, the ploys, the ideas that these manufacturers come up with on their products to attract our eyes and make us want to buy those specific things. It's the same types of things about the way we dress because we want to portray a certain image. It's the way we comb our hair when I used to have hair. It's the way we put makeup on, etc. It's the car we drive. It's everything, how we present ourselves, so people will accept us in a certain way. We want to kind of take a little bit of control. Now, last week, I talked a little bit about needs, desires, and solutions, and we'll get into that in a second. But first, I want to kind of talk a little bit more about that shopping cart. Now, imagine you're pushing the shopping cart through the store, and all of a sudden, somebody just stops you. Something flies right in front of your face. Of course, you're going to stop. Okay? You've lost control. Now that the shopping cart comes to a halt, okay, suddenly you can't even move the shopping cart. Okay? What a scary situation. And I have to admit, I was a master at that. How many people here have ever gone to a grocery store or any type of store whatsoever and had somebody trying to sell them the newspaper? They'd hold the newspaper and say, "Would you like a subscription? Would you like a subscription?" I was the very first person, number one, in the city of Chicago to do that. It was a brand new program that they started, and I was hired to do that, the very first person. And I loved it. People would walk by me with their shopping carts. You just kind of saw that they felt they were in control. And the first thing I would do is hold that newspaper right in front of their face. So they had to stop. Then I'd tell them, "Oh, I'm having such a rough day. I'm so tired." I would put my foot on the bottom of the cart so they couldn't push the cart. I would sometimes lean on the cart and I'd say, "Wow, what a long day I'm having. Are you interested in the newspaper?" And we would have a long conversation. And what I was doing was taking control of their cart. I was taking complete control of their moment. Now, this was a long time ago that I was a young salesman hungry to make the sale. And I didn't realize then that there's a difference between taking control and having balance. What I was interested in was that one-time sale, just going after the person, making them buy from me that one time and never see them again. But in reality, if you want to succeed in sales, and I'm talking about sales in anything, just sales in life, you're selling yourself all the time. If you want to succeed, you have to remember that you want a long-term relationship, whether it's between you and a customer, you and someone you're buying from, you and a loved one. You want a long-term relationship, so you want to find some balance there. From that, I take a look at, give you an example, the speech contest I was just in this weekend. Okay, what ends up happening is I brought myself to the stage. I shared my message. I did as much as I could. I had competition and I had an audience. My customers were the judges. I'm very happy to say that I did pretty good on Saturday. But while I was down here doing my speech, upstairs, my wife and daughter were watching American Idol. And they were doing the same thing. They were rooting for their people. And those people were bringing themselves out on stage. They were presenting themselves, and their audience, their customer, were those judges. So you see, selling yourself happens all over the time, all over your life. It's constantly going to be happening. My favorite selling story is the day I met Christy. Okay, I looked at her and I said, wow, this is a woman that is beyond me. She is above me. I just want to spend some time with her. So what I had to do is I had to go and sell myself to her. I was not only the salesman, I was the product. She was the customer. Okay, and I did my best to do this, but I wasn't lying. I wasn't cheating. I wasn't trying to manipulate her. Maybe a little bit. But the idea here was I needed to find some balance because I wanted a relationship that would last a long period of time. And sure, there was other competition, but I became victorious. And so I'm very happy. She is a wonderful wife, and I'm glad I did everything that I did in order to win that sale. So let's get into this. Last week, we talked a little bit about this: need, desire, and solution. And this is what I meant by that. These are the basic 3 steps in any sale. There's got to be a need, something that is inside that the person goes, I absolutely need this. It could be food, it could be transportation, it could be love, it could be the trophy for a contest, whatever it is, there is a need for it. Now, me as the salesperson, I'm going to provide the solution. But the tricky part is the desire. Sometimes the desire is not there, and that desire can fall into either way, but usually the desire falls onto the customer where they have a need, but they don't have a desire to fill that need. And it's up to us as the salesperson to try to find a way to encourage that desire so that that desire or that want gives them a reason to buy and they can justify it with their needs. All right. So I want you to take a moment and think about all those things I've been talking about, all of those things. The need is I need food to eat. In the grocery store, they offer me lots of solutions. To make it desirable, they throw all these pretty pictures up there and get me all excited. But the bottom line is I don't need those fancy cereals, all those fancy boxes. I just need food. But it's the desire. They come after my desire to close the sale. When I did the newspaper, I think a lot of people desired that I left them alone, and many people signed the contract saying, "Yes, I'll take the subscription. Just let go of my cart." Okay. When I was in the speech contest, okay, the need there, it was a contest. The need was to give a speech. The solution was me stepping up on stage and delivering the speech. It's the same with American Idol, and the desire was there. The desire of I want to win this. Okay, the judges had a desire to hear incredible speeches, just like the judges on American Idol have a desire to hear wonderful singers. Okay, it's important. They don't want to show up to hear terrible singers. They want to hear wonderful speakers. So the desire is there, and they're looking for someone to fill their need. So again, this whole idea of the need, desire, and solution is in every part of your life. So it goes further than that. Remember what I was saying. The customer is the one who usually needs the need and desire. That's where the need and desire is. The product is our solution. And I want you to find some balance there. I want you to, I don't want you to be the pushy person to take control of them so that the customer later leaves and says, wow, I have buyer's remorse. Like I feel like I was forced into that sale. I want you to really learn some balance. And what I mean by that is the 4 items I want you to look at today is this: the customer, okay, the person that you're selling to, the buyer, the person receiving your product, the person with the need and desire, the product itself, and I know you know your product backwards and forwards, but I want you also to take in consideration competition. There are other people out there selling similar products or selling similar solutions. And lastly is you. What about you? What's inside you that makes you so wonderful, that makes you the person I want to buy from? I want you to think about all four of these in all of those circumstances that I explained and in the circumstances that you meet every single day. All the types of areas that you might be selling yourself, pushing your product, pushing yourself, like I said, your service, your product, your ideas, your dreams. There's always a customer, someone who you are trying to sell this to. There's always the product. That's the idea, the product, the service, etc. The competition, the reasons they may say no to you because they have other options. And then finally, you. What are you bringing to the table? And if you don't have a little bit of all of these, a little bit of balance through all of these, it's very easy to lose the sale. Now, with that, I want you to think about this, and I want you to say, with the product and the competition, I want you to take control of that situation. I want you to say, yes, my product is greater than the competition. Okay, so this is what I mean about taking control of that. This is the part where you can lose a little of that balance and take control of the situation. So your product, you have to be that perfect shopping cart. Okay, you have to be that one that they're going to choose over all the other shopping carts. When I talk about your product versus the competition, I'm talking about you're going to be that cereal box that stands out among everybody else. All those other cereal boxes, you're the first one that you grab. Be that one. Be the one that they go, wow, this is the one that I want. This is the exciting one. Yes, that's who you want to be. When you get into a contest, I want you to think about the same thing. Your product that you're putting out there is going to be better than anything else they've ever heard. That song you sing is going to be greater than anyone else who's on the stage. I want you to take your product and put it on a pedestal, put it up, make it bigger and better than anything they've ever seen. This is where you take control. Now, where I want you to have balance is between the customer and you. I want you to really concentrate on balance here. Sometimes I've seen some salespeople who come through and they go, well, I'm the expert. I'm the expert. Just you have to listen to me. This is what you're going to do. And those become the pushy salesmen. Okay. A lot of times you'll run into people who say they don't like used car salesmen because they become very pushy and they go, look, this is exactly the car you need. And they push. And I don't mean to pick on used car salesmen because they're not all the same. Just like all salespeople are not the same. I used to ask people, would you like some sales training? I would love to teach you. And they go, no. I don't want to lie to people. I don't want to cheat people. And I would take great offense at that. I go, I don't lie to people. I don't cheat people. What I do is I offer those solutions to their needs and desires. But I find a balance between what the customer really needs and desires and what I can offer. Okay, who I am. I've got to find that balance, because if I'm coming to them with a lie, if I'm coming to them with more, giving them something more than I can actually deliver, they'll never come back to me. They lose faith in me. They lose trust in me. And if you remember from earlier on, a couple of weeks ago, we went through the 5 objections, and trust was the number one thing. You have to develop trust between you and your customer so that they will continue to buy from you on a regular basis. So I want you to take control over your competition with your product. Make sure your product stands out. Separate yourself from your product. This is my product. This is what I'm offering. Okay? And make sure that that's better than anything the competition is offering. But then when you step away from that, the product and the competition, and it's between you and the customer, you and that special someone, make sure you find a balance. Make sure that you're not afraid to say, if this is not the right thing for you, then let's not close the sale. Let me help you find the thing that is right for you. Be brave enough to do that. Be brave enough to be able to say when the sale is over, I am proud of the job that I did. My customer is happy, and my customer is so happy that that customer will give me referrals. That's what you really want. You want that nice balance between you and your customer. They call it the win-win. You want your customer to feel great about it, and you want yourself to feel great about it. I hope you understand this and you're getting the concept. And so to help you along with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a form like I do every week. Now, last week, I gave you this form, which is the happiness worksheet. And this was to help you dig down deep inside yourself, find what scares you, what angers you, what makes you sad, and compare it to those things that make you happy. Okay? And I wanted you to turn your life around. And I hope that you still downloaded that last week. It's no longer up on the website. If you need one, please contact me. Okay, you can contact me directly at masterhappiness.com, The Secret, or you can get a hold of Barbara Beckley. She, at the Diamond Factor Experience, she will reach out to me and I will make sure you get it because I really want you to have a happier life. But this week, the form that you're going to have is all about knowing yourself. And this is broken down into 5 sections. You're going to ask yourself those questions like, who am I? What do I do? Where do I do it? How do I do it? And why do I do it? And remember, we talked about balance. So I want you to take this sheet and I want you to write your strengths and your weaknesses on each one of these areas. And don't worry, there's no hard, fast rules. No one's going to collect these afterwards and read your answers. These are for yourself. Some of your answers might duplicate throughout the sheet, but I want you to take your time and really spend some time and analyze yourself. Talk about maybe I'm a really good talker. Maybe I'm an artist. Maybe I just am really good at supplying the products. Maybe I'm really good at listening. Okay, my weaknesses. Maybe I'm not that organized. Maybe I don't have the inventory I should have, etc. I want you to understand what I mean. Is come up with all your strengths and all your weaknesses and put them together and give yourself an analysis of yourself. Okay? Now, I want you to take the same sheet and do this with your competition. Okay? What are your competition's strengths and weaknesses? Okay? Who are they? Where are they? What do they do really well? And what do they do not so well? And you can see immediately, I hope you can catch this immediately. As soon as you have those 2 things done, you can compare yourself to your competition and you can see, I'm really strong here and they're weak here. So this is an area where you can capitalize on. I want you to do the same sheet with your product. What's your product strong? What's good about it? And what's weak about it? Be honest with the weaknesses, as honest with the weaknesses as the strengths. Because the more honest you are, the more honest you're going to be with your customer, and you're going to have a happier customer. Remember, if your product does not solve their need or desire, don't sell it to them. Help them find the right thing, and they will always come back to you. Okay, now you say, wow, this looks like a great sheet. Where do I get it? And you're going to get it the same place you get it every week. If you go to masterhappiness.com, The Secret, you'll see this sheet here. And up in this top corner is always going to be the shortcut to this show. All right. You're selling too hard on the Barbara Beckley show, the Diamond Factor Experience. There will always be this button here. And down here is a picture of a little diamond. You see this? All right. Now, only you know about this diamond because you're watching this show. All right. Now, no one else knows about it. It's a secret between us. You click on that diamond and that form will appear. And you can download it. I want you to take your time with it. Remember, there's no rush to it. Take your time. Do it at nighttime. Do it while you're drinking that coffee. Okay? But do it. Do it with yourself. Do it for your customers. Do it for your products. Okay? Do it with your competition. Find some balance and find the strengths and weaknesses across the board. And the more you can find that balance, the better off you're going to be. The easier it is for you to close those next sales, build stronger relationships, and get those referrals. Okay? So, like I've always said, all right, no matter what we are doing in life, we are always selling. Okay? Whether I am trying to push a product or a service, whether I'm trying to convince my son, hey, I won the speech contest, it's your weekend to do the lawn, or whether I'm trying to convince my daughter that maybe I should try out for American Idol. Okay, no matter what I'm doing, I'm always selling. And if you are not having fun, you're selling too hard. Thank you very much. So again, this has been Marty Jalove with You're Selling Too Hard. And I want you to look at the Diamond Factor experience this entire week, because we are loaded with some great speakers, so much great information that you are not going to want to miss one day. Every day, 8 a.m., tune into this channel. Barbara, thank you so much. I will talk to you guys all very, very soon.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
Good morning and good morning. Oh my God, it is Monday and I am ready just to get going. Everybody, come on, let's do exercise. Up, down, side to side, side to side. Okay, that's enough for me right now. You know what? I got my coffee double this morning because I have been up since 4 o'clock this morning. And you're talking about a person that is not a morning person. That was a challenge. And it's been a challenge every morning. But you know what? You know how they say repetition after, I think, 20 days or whatever like that, it becomes repetition where you be like, okay, now I feel, I'm good with this because I'm used to it. Well, that's what I'm trying to push myself to do, is to be used to this repetition. And it's just the 3rd day, and it's a little bit better. Every day gets a little bit better. But then, I was listening to one of my wonderful motivational speakers, because that's what I do every morning. Throughout the day, I listen to motivational speakers, my jazz, and just to relax myself as I'm working. And a lot of people might have heard of Mr. E.T., Eric Thompson. Powerful speaker. And believe me, he doesn't play. See, I have speakers. I got like a list. I got the ones that are kind of like gradually saying, okay, you need to do this, you need that. Then I got Mr. E.T. where it's like, you got to do it. You need to get up. What are you doing? You got to breathe. And I'll be like, yeah. So one thing he did say is, what are you making excuses? You making excuses talking about you not a morning person. That's an excuse. Get up, do your thing. And I was like, he's right. I'm making excuses. I keep saying, I'm not a morning person. Okay, I said, Barbara, stop that. So that's why I said one thing I'm going to do, if I want to get up and be up earlier than everybody else, just like Marty said you have to shine your product, your services, what you do. And anything you do in life is you're selling. You are kind of selling everything you do. But if you want to be the best, if you want to be that person that's out there before anybody, you might have to get up earlier than everybody else. and be there before anybody else, because you are basically among other greatness that's trying to do the same thing you're doing. So you have to get up there and show your best. So while some people are sleeping, I'm awake trying to get stuff done and get it out there. You got to pace yourself in that area. And it's not about saying, well, I want to beat this person up, damn competition. No, it is. It's a competition, but you know what? It's a motivation. It's a motivator. I feel like every time when I see all my wonderful people around me that do the same thing or something similar, I look at them. First of all, I cheer them on for doing what they're doing, their dreams and their goals. And then I turn around and say, you know what? You are helping motivate me to get to the next level. So before I move on to the wonderful Queen Diamond that's coming on right now, Mrs. Brandy Gunn, and I'm so excited because we haven't seen Brandy in a while. And I was like, yay, 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 she's back. I'm like a little kid. I love what she's about. She has a heart of gold. She's strong in what she's talking about. And believe me, you need to get a pen and paper out right now because she is going to be telling you some tips, some golden nuggets that you want to keep. Not just write it down and put it to the side. Because I know sometimes I do that. I mean, being honest, sometimes I do that because I get so busy and I start just writing notes from everybody and I put it to the side. But you want to take this and put it in your life. Just like Marty was giving you some tips, and hope you wrote those down. You want to do the same thing with Brandy. Now, I have to go back a little bit and congratulate Mr. Master Happiness because we're all, it's funny, me, him, and Brandy, and a few others are on the show, are part of an organization called Toastmaster International. And every year, throughout the year, there's what we call speech contests. There's 4 different types. And they start at a club level and go all the way up to the district level. So Mr. Marty made it all the way up to the district level. And we have a conference every year. Well, this weekend was a 2-day conference. He went for international speech contests. And that's one of the huge ones where you can go even to the next level and it's over like 300,000 members will watch this. To him, he can get deemed to be international speaker for the whole thing, for the whole thing, which we're hoping and praying. We're all in District 30 saying that that's going to happen because he won district level this past weekend. So Marty, we at the Diamond Factor really, yay, 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 give you the claps. I was there. I was rooting for you right there. I was on Zoom live looking at you, and you did an awesome, tremendous job. You brought it, just like he said earlier. If you want to be best over others, you have to bring it. You have to put your work and hard work into it. You have to keep moving. So that's an example of determination and perseverance. And he showed both this weekend. So Marty, we thank you. And I'm glad that you on the show because that just shows you right there that we're diamonds. We're all among diamonds. We're shining. We're shining. So with that, let's bring on the Mrs. Brandy. But we always have to do her well before we bring her on. So here she comes.
Good morning, Barbara. Thank you so much, and good morning, Diamond Factor. It is a pleasure to be here with you this morning and to spend a few moments with you today as we chat. Marty, awesome show, and I'm going to tell you right now, you want to refill that coffee, refill that tea, because I have some nuggets for you, as Barbara said, today. This topic is so personal for me that when I thought about sharing it with you today, I thought I have to share this with people. I have to tell them exactly how to stay rooted. Over the past 18 months, over the past 16 months, we have experienced one of the most tremendous things that we've ever experienced in our life. And I know that many of us are probably tired of hearing about COVID and the pandemic, but I have to talk to you about this. And before we move forward, as I said, my name is Andy Renee. I'm your professional and personal development mentor. I'm not a coach, I'm a mentor alongside with you, helping you to have a better relationship with yourself, better relationship and better relationship with your community. And today, as I said, we're going to talk about rooted. We're going to talk about having a firm foundation. And I am here in sunny LA today. As Barbara said, she woke up early this morning. I got up around 4 o'clock in Pacific time, and I'm used to being on Central time. So I'm here today early in the morning, ready to rock and roll with you. I'm so excited to share this information with you because it's so powerful. And I believe that it's going to help you stay focused this year. It's going to help you remain in place and in position for what is in store for you this year. I believe that many of us have great things. And I know that over the past few months, there's been a lot of transition in all of our lives, and my life included. And in the past 12 months, many of us have shifted, whether that be relationships, we've shifted in our career, we've shifted, maybe moved from one place to the next due to certain things. Maybe we were living life up, traveling the world, and maybe we find ourselves as a caregiver. It could be that we were living it up in the career that we always dreamed of, and then some things shifted with that. And it seems like we were plucked out of one place and find ourselves rooted in another. And we're finding it somewhat hard to kind of function, how to transition. We're finding it difficult to maybe connect all the dots, so to speak. And some of us have traded luxury downtown offices for a riverside cozy office in a cubicle for our guest room. And we transitioned that guest room into our office, and we're juggling virtual classrooms and virtual meetings all at once, and we don't know what to do. And it seems as though doors have been closed, and the trajectory of our lives have very much changed. And like me, my life, I was in the middle of my career. I was loving every minute of it. I was a professional development professional in the hospitality industry, and just things just completely shifted and changed for me in what seemed like one moment, 1 second, one blink of an eye, bat of an eye, breath. And I find myself going from a business suit and pearls to now Chuck Taylors and pearls in a warehouse, working in a logistics environment where I felt extremely uncomfortable. And every day I found myself awakening, thinking, how did I get here? And I went from the joy of having exactly what I wanted, what I dreamt of, and working very, very hard to get to that place. And I find myself in a new place, uncomfortable, finding it some days hard to breathe because I just couldn't figure out how in the world I got there. And I'm going to pause for a moment because I want you to really think about, have you ever been there? Have you ever thought about how in the world did I get here? It's an unfamiliar place. You're wrecking your brain. You're frustrated, and you feel yourself at a loss for words. I mean, you're crying out loud, and you just stepped into a new season. And you're like, how did I get here? How? I find myself now in a place where there's new opportunities for me. When I stopped thinking, how did I get here? And remembered that where I was exactly where I had been planted on purpose, with a purpose. Okay? I had been planted with a purpose, on purpose. And one day, as I was leaving the office, so to speak, a voice came to me and said, you need to remain rooted. Now, when I get these divine encounters, I should say, I begin to look at words. So many times we hear words that are so familiar to us that I like to get down to the very crust of what that word is. I like to look words up, make connections with the word, see how that word is impacting me. Because when I grew up, my grandmother would always take us to the library to read, and we get tons of books. And so the depth of my vocabulary began to grow. And so I gained a love of words and speaking. And so when I heard this word root, rooted, I came up with this acronym, and it came to me so clear. And as I think about the word root, the acronym came to me, and as I break it down for you, I want you to get your pen. I want you to get your paper, your notebook to write down these nuggets, because they're going to be so powerful to impact you in such a way that as you're in this new season, as you're in this place where you're thinking, how did I get here? I want you to really, really think about the words that I'm about to share with you. And first, as I share with that, the first letter in the word root is R. And that word, I want you to write this down. It says remain. As you are planted, as you're in a place where it's unfamiliar, you're kind of confused, you're frustrated, you don't know what's going on, I want you to remain. First, remain. Remain calm and yield to the adjustment to what's in the soil. So I think about planting. I recently bought my home and I wanted some foliage. I love the word foliage, how it rolls out. I wanted some foliage in my home. I wanted some greenery. I wanted to brighten it up. But all the beautiful things that I had on my walls, I wanted to brighten up my space. And I wanted to have some natural oxygen. So I went to the local hardware store, and as I perused the aisles, I noticed that there was this one tree, and I'm no green thumb. So I needed to find something that required very little water and very little attention, because me and plants, just, we don't mix, we don't get along. But I needed something that needed little attention. So I see this plant that has really big, beautiful green leaves, thick leaves, and there's this brown cane. And I find out, after I use Google, I find out that it's a yucca cane. So what I did at that moment, I began to research what exactly is it that this plant needs, because if it required anything more than just a day every so often, every 2-3 weeks of water or attention, that was going to be way too much for me. So I found out that it only required a little bit of attention, a little bit of water, and a little bit of light. So perfect situation for me. But what I had to do, because when I purchased the plant, it came in a plastic, the generic plastic pot that I knew, with these 3 large cane plants that were inside of it, that if it stayed in that environment, it wasn't going to live. So I did the best thing I knew how to do, and the most resourceful thing I knew how to do, which was call my mama, because she knows how to take care of plants. I said, Mom, what do I do to keep this thing alive? It's in this generic plant. She said, well, the first thing you need to do is find out what kind of soil it needs. And the second thing you need to do is buy a bigger plant pot, because it won't survive in the soil that it was purchased in, that it came in, and it will not survive in that plastic pot. So you need a bigger pot. So what I did is I pulled the plants up, and I bought the soil that was correct for it. And I put those plants, I repotted it, so to speak, which is what has happened to many of our lives. We've had to be repotted. I've repotted the plant, and I put a little bit of water in it, and I put it by the window. And I let it sit there, and it had to remain in that environment so that it could adjust and continue to grow. We got to remain. We've got to remain and adjust to where we've been, because many of us, you and me, we have complained about where we are. How did I get here? Just like I did in this new season of my life. And I didn't remain. I didn't remain to see what was in the soil. What was in this new soil? What could I get nourishment from in this new season of my life, so that I could continue to grow? Because quite frankly, I had gotten so comfortable with where I was that growth really wasn't happening. I mean, I was waking up, doing the same thing, excellent at it, excelling at it, but there was really, truly no new growth. Yeah, every now and then a spark comes, and here and there, but no new growth. We've got to remain calm, and yield to what's in the soil. The next thing you need to be is you gotta be open. open, open to new experiences. Open your mind, first of all. Stop shutting things out. Stop shutting the door on new possibilities because we're afraid. Because we don't know what's going to happen next. You don't need to know all, write that down. You don't need to know all of the details. Just be open. Open the door, walk through it, see what's in there. Like you go to a model home. Just open the door, walk through the room, see what the possibilities are, see what's lying next for you, prepare yourself for what's next, and be open. Now, one of the things I love about the new company that I'm working for is they tell you in the training, what they call day one training, and they tell you, forget about everything else that you knew before this moment, because this company that you're with is very peculiar. It's not like anything else. It's not like any other company. It's not like any other experience. Forget about all of your other experiences and take in this new opportunity. Take in all of the information, eat it in bite-sized pieces. And then after you've grasped the culture, what I want you to do next is I want you then to bring back everything else you've learned and apply it. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be open to this new season. Be open to new opportunities. Be open to where you are and where you've been planted. And once you grasp everything that you can from this new season, I want you to take all those other experiences. I want you to add them to the collection that you have. Add them to your treasure chest. Add them to the soil you're in. Water that plant with all of those experiences. And begin to stretch yourself. Be willing to be stretched. Yeah, that means be uncomfortable. When we stretch in the morning, when we're stretching out muscles. We're opening up ourselves, opening up our bodies to be able to do more, feel more, experience more, go further. So open your mind to go further. The second O rather, is for opportunity. Look for new opportunities. Look for more opportunities to do more. Find a way in this new season to do something you've never done before. Impact a life. Look for a way to impact someone's life. Learn new ways of adding value to those that are around you, to the environment that you're in. This is a new season to take the blinders off. Be eyes wide open, ears wide open, heart wide open, and allow new opportunities to come in to enhance your life, impact your life. Look for ways to give back. Look for ways to rebrand yourself. Recreate yourself. Because maybe if you look back, you'll find out perhaps that the brand that you were carrying was a place where you were settling. I think about how companies have rebranded. And especially as Marty was talking about consumer and grocery shopping, and some of us have gone into the grocery store. We go to that same store. We go to that same aisle. We walk down that same aisle and we go and we're saying, well, where is the new product? Where's the product that I bought before? Where's the packaging? Because we're looking for the packaging because we're so familiar with the product that we're no longer reading it. We're no longer conscious. We become so paralyzed to the familiar and in the familiar that we miss that the company has rebranded themselves. And that's what we do when we look in the mirror and we become so familiar with ourselves. We've gotten to a place where we've settled with what we see, that we're not growing, we're not developing. And we all of a sudden wake up and we're looking at ourselves in the mirror. We don't even know who we're looking at because we become so settled. Look for new opportunities. Rebrand, recreate who you are. Because some of us need a reimage, attitude change, thought change. so that we can look for new opportunities in the new soil that we're in. And then fourth, T, to the word root, is trust the timing. There is no better time than now to start your business. I tell you, out of this pandemic that we've had, some of us have been able to have the greatest and best opportunities to create something new. There are millionaires that are being birthed and born out of this crisis that seems like it's never going to end, but it will. But there are billionaires, millionaires that are being created. There are speakers, as Marty mentioned, there are speakers, you have a message that's bigger than yourself, and there's no better time now than to do it. Write the book. There's no better time to start the blog. Start working on that piece of furniture that you've been putting off that you want to repurpose. Or start the podcast. Do that now. Do what you've always dreamed of doing and trust the process. None of us want to be in process. We got to trust the process. The process, you're going to be stretched. The process, you're going to have to spend some time getting up. Like Barbara said, you're going to have to get up early. No more sleeping in. Yeah. Trust the process. Be willing to not know all of what's going to happen next. Get really comfortable with being uncomfortable. Keep stepping in the direction of where you're headed. It will lead to the door that leads to the door that leads to the door that leads to the door. Last is S, and the word roots, soar. The letter S stands for soar. When your roots are established and you have remained in the very place where you have been planted, what is in the soil has everything that you need. Think about that plant that I purchased. What's in the soil what was in that soil was everything it needed to grow and thrive. Look at your environment. It's time for you to excel and take off. Allow your roots to grow deep and remain. Be open. Look for opportunity. Trust the timing and the process and soar. That's what roots stand for. If you were not taking notes, I'm going to say it again. Remain. Don't try to get out of there too soon. Be open. Open your heart, open your mind. O, opportunity. Look for opportunities. And T, trust the process, trust the time. There's no better time than now. And S, after you've done that, soar. Now, the last thing I want to leave you with, and you're probably thinking, well, after I've done all this, how can I keep myself from allowing the roots, allowing my branches, allowing myself to just wither and die? The first thing we got to do so we don't choke out our roots is we got to stop complaining. We got to stop complaining. Now, I don't have a fancy acronym for what I'm about to say next, but we got to stop complaining because there's a scripture that I love that says death and life are in the power of your tongue. Some of us are experiencing places of death and dying in our lives. And I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about opportunities. I'm talking about situations that are dying. It seems like there's no life in them because we're not speaking the right words. We're complaining about it. Oh, if things were different. Oh, I wish I could have. Oh, if I didn't do this. Stop complaining. Don't get lost in regret. There's no need and time for regrets. Just keep going forward. Next is doubt. We choke out opportunities by doubting whether we can do it. You can do it. Whether we're qualified enough, you are qualified. Whether I'm good enough, yes, you are good enough. You are great. You have greatness inside of you. And we doubt whether the opportunity is even meant for me. Yes, it's meant for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there. And last, negativity. Being negative. Not seeing things from a positive outlook. Change what you see. Change your vision. You can change your vision, change your eyesight, which will change what you see. So again, remain. I want you to remain where You are planted. Don't complain about it. Don't doubt that you're supposed to be there. And certainly don't be negative. When it rains, you may feel like right now that you're in a rainstorm. But when it rains, remember this: rain washes, rain causes to grow, rain feeds, rain produces life. So don't be so quick to bring out an umbrella and try to pluck yourself up and move yourself along to get out of the situation too soon. Remain. Be open. Look for that opportunity. Trust the process and soar. Again, I'm Brandy Renee. I am your personal and professional development mentor, walking alongside this journey right with you. I'm no different than you. I want you to stay tuned on every first and third Monday to the Diamond Factor Show, knowing that I am here with you. I love you. And I want you to remain connected to the Diamond Factor experience right here. Every day, we got some great experts, some great knowledge, great tips. You always want to wake up with your coffee, your tea, your pen, and your notebook. Great tips for you. Back to you, Barbara. Thank you so much.
I'm hanging on your every word. The love inside, I feel it burn. I've never felt this way before. I've had a taste, now I want more. So here we are, just you and me. I'm overwhelmed when you touch me. You talk so sweet, I hear the sound. 'Cause when you do, my feet won't touch the ground.
Woo! Wow, wow, wow. I'm sitting back down here. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Bringing in the fire on a Monday morning. We have Master Happiness just tell us, hey, you got to be better than the rest now. You got to be that big product service. No one, everybody wants you. And then Brandy comes in with the remain, be open, opportunities, trust the process, and soar. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Woo. Whew. See, I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot. Ooh, see, and this is just Monday. This is just Monday. Oh my God. Thank you. See, this is why I thank my experts that come on this show because they are bringing the fire. It's time to level to the next level. It's time. It is time. That's why I told myself I need to get my butt up earlier every morning because I said it is time to get to that next level right now. We went through this pandemic last year. It was time then, to be honest with you. Like Brandy said, start your business, write that book, be that professional speaker, be that awesome coach. I started the Diamond Factor LLC. I branded the Diamond LLC last year of July. Now I've been talking about the Diamond Factor for over like probably 7 years, but I officially made it an LLC last year in a pandemic. You think I wasn't kind of like a little bit like, yeah, I said that for 1 minute, but I said, well, wait a minute, what you waiting on? What are you waiting on? Because the trials and tribulations of life is going to come. It's going to come. It's not going away. Because you know what that is? That helps us move forward, encourages us to move forward and give us strength, give us learning tips so we can move forward. So yes, 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 yes. Start. Start somewhere. Whatever you're trying to do, start it. Start it now, right now. Don't procrastinate on it. I've been on myself about procrastinating for the longest on things. I said that needs to stop because I keep telling people when you procrastinate on your goals and your dreams, you are holding back on what other people need from you. See, this is it comes goes around. People are waiting on your genius and your goals to start so they can move up in their goals. That we all work together, no matter how you slice it. You're not alone in this world. You offer something to somebody else, but if you hold back and start second guessing and start procrastinating and start making excuses and start doing the negative, like that little those little gremlins in the back of your head talk, then you're stopping the progress for others. And that's what I always put in my head. I'm like, Barbara, I'd be like, oh, I'm tired. No, Barbara, you're not tired because guess what? You got to get to the next level in this show. So because somebody might be out there watching this show that needs you, that needs Brandy to hear Brandy this morning, that needs to hear Marty, that needs to hear Barry on Wednesday, that needs to hear everybody else is coming on. So I got to be up, awake, and on time. I had to be here because it's forced to help with somebody else. See, they got me started. I'm on my soap. I feel it. I feel it. Woo, I feel like dancing. Okay, let me do my little, I'm almost forgetting what I'm supposed to do here. Okay, now I always give you a motivational tip, something to think about. But you know what? Between Martin and Brent, I'm like, what I got to say now? But I do want to say this. I want to make sure that and see, I'm on even the wrong page. You see where I'm at here. Your life, we're always talking about your life and what you're doing and moving forward, elevating all that stuff. So I just want to leave you with this tip again. And I always read from every morning, Taking Responsibilities, Unleashing True Healing by Mary Ellen Kavazic. Get this book. I'm telling you, this book is awesome. Let me put my finger because I want you to see the whole thing. Like I said, I don't promote. I promote people because I want to help them out. But I've really been promoting Mary Ellen's book because I've been getting some wonderful. I mean, every day she has something in here to move you to the next level and to remind you of things that you need to do. So this one, she's talking about your life is your message to the world. Your life is your message to the world. All of us have the ability to live a life that will inspire the people around us. Parents can inspire their children. Employers can inspire their employees. Teachers should inspire their students, and students should inspire their teachers who may be tired or exhausted from hours of paperwork. Children can inspire their parents instead of criticizing them. Employees can inspire their employers by going above and beyond their job requirements. Your life is your legacy to your family, your friends, and the world around you. This world can be a better place, and this process begins with each and every one of us. Today, inspire someone by setting a good example. Your life is your message to the world. I want to end the show with that because I don't care what you do in life, everything you do, and I always talk about your PPD, your purpose, passion, and drive. It is so important. You are important. You are important. You are a message to this world. Remember that. No one was accidentally born and just dropped in this earth. You are an important part of this world. Remember who you are. Remember what you stand for. Move forward. Don't make any excuses because your gifts and your geniuses are so important for somebody else to move forward. And that's why your life is important and is a legacy. So with that, I will see everybody tomorrow. I gotta get used. I'm still getting used to it because we're a whole week now. It's like, wow, this is a week of Diamond Factor. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Come with the pen and piece of paper, as I keep saying, because there's gonna be some more notes. We got the Impact Hour with Aneri. She has a whole hour of Impact show. She's bringing on some awesome guests and really getting deep and creating that impact and to show all of us that we do have an impact in this world. And she's bringing on people to show that impact. So let's support these experts. Let's support the show. Support me. And we will give you that value that you need in order to move forward, to motivate you, educate you, and give you awareness in this world. Love you. Show the love to somebody. Reach out to somebody, and remember that you have a diamond factor in you.